Good morning, Judge.
How are you, sir?
I am fine, thank you.
You can stay dark. No one else is here. I just was giving you a hard time.
I'm here, Judge. I'm ready.
I know you are. Wait a minute. Isn't Josh supposed to be here too?
I don't know if I would assume so. I think they usually are here.
That's what I thought, that they would be here for their docket.
Yeah.
Silly me.
Huh.
Good morning, Mr. Wimberly.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Thanks for asking.
This is 1810170T, City of Romulus versus Tyrese Wimberly. Could you state your name for me, please, sir?
Tyrese Wimberly.
So your case is scheduled today for an arraignment and pretrial. It's a misdemeanor that alleges that you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied on March 11, 2018 in the city of Romulus. Sir, that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file indicating that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, or would you like to have the arraignment conducted? Or if you're unsure, we have a court-appointed attorney available for you to speak with.
And you said a double, like when the officer gave me a ticket.
I need you to, sir, I can barely hear you. Do you have some,
Let me see.
are you
Can I
able to
turn my mic up? Let me see. Can I turn my mic up? I'm on my laptop, so let me see. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, I can hear you better too.
My question to you was, there's an offer to plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay $400, or we can have your arraignment. And if you have any questions about either of these two options, we have a court-appointed attorney for you to speak with if you wish. How do you want to proceed right now?
Can I? When can I speak to the court-appointed attorney?
He's here right now, and
So
they can make a breakout room, and you'll see a request to join him, Mr. Jadala, in the breakout room, and you'll go and talk to him about it.
Okay, that'll be fine. Let me talk to him about it because I have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Questions.
Do you
but
see
I
the
would like
button to join the breakout room?
Okay. Just hit the button.
Do you see a button to join the breakout room?
Hey, Judge, are we gonna do it the way we talked about Friday? I'm gonna bring everybody in. Hello.
I think we can. I know, I had it on my old school setting, and I just wanted to make it so that people could see that I was actually talking to them. We can bring them in because we're slow right now.
Okay.
If it gets overwhelming for you to keep track of who's here, we can try something else.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure where Mr. Kaplan is, and if anyone actually needs to pre-try the case, we need to get him on the phone and get him logged in. Oh, I'm not sure. I wonder if he's in the wrong Zoom meeting room.
I just checked with Michelle about Josh, and she said he may come, and if he comes, it's usually around 9 or so.
Okay. What is the next date for Romulus's DWS? Because if he's not here to pre-try the cases, we'll have to put them over to a new date.
I'm gonna find out. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Michelle said that what they do is they say that a notice will be sent to them, but she said she's gonna try and figure out when Romulus is. She goes, but she usually.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, if you look on the calendar, if you have access to the updated version, the DWS has the city information on it.
I do not have access to the updated version.
Why would you have it?
I know it. It makes sense.
Maybe Andy can help you with that.
I will give
or
it
Marlisa.
Yep. 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, it's, Marlisa, said it's August 23rd. And there are times available at 10:50, 11, 11:10, and 11:30.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Was that sufficient time, Mr. Jadala?
It was, Your Honor. Mr. Wimberly was having some technical problems. He don't know, he was going to take the plea, but he stopped seeing me, even though I could see him perfectly.
Okay. If he logs back, oh, he's still in the breakout room. He's back. Okay.
Right. I had a hard time.
You're fine, Mr. Wimberly. Are we ready to proceed?
We are ready, Your
Yes.
Honor.
How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Wimberly would like to avail himself to the plea. He understands already he's waiving by pleading responsible to one count of double parking.
Mr. Wimberly, were you able to hear Mr. Jadala this morning?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Very clear.
And you will be accepting the offer of the prosecutor to plead responsible to the added count of double parking, understanding that the misdemeanor will be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're pleading responsible freely and voluntarily? Nobody's threatened you in any way to get you to plead responsible?
No, not at all.
The court will accept your plea. I'm sorry, is it true that on March 11, 2018, the city of Romulus, you were double parked?
Yes.
The court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the misdemeanor driving while license suspended, and assess the $400. Sir, are you able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes.
Have that paid by July 21st, 2021. You can go online, put in your ticket number and pay that way. You can mail it to the court at 11129 South Wayne Road in Romulus, or you can bring it to the courthouse and the court officers will help process the payment.
Okay. More than likely, I'll bring it to the courthouse because I don't know the ticket number's been since 2018, so I really don't know the ticket number and all that type of stuff. So,
understood. Anything else this morning, Mr. Wimberly?
no, thank you both. I really
You're all
appreciate
set. You have a wonderful day, okay?
it. Okay, you too. Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Owens, are you able to turn on your video, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
1 second.
This is 16R571193 A and B, City of Romulus versus Ashley Owens. Could you state your
Yeah.
name for me, ma'am?
Ashley Alicia Owens.
Ms. Owens, you are here this morning for two things. One is a arraignment and pretrial, and the other is review. It's alleged that on June the 23rd, 2016, the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was not valid or you had an improper license. That matter is scheduled for arraignment today. There is a plea offer in the file from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, that's a civil infraction, and you pay $400. You pay a
Yes,
$400 fine, the misdemeanor will be dismissed. Would you like to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with your arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I will just accept the offer and I can have it paid by tomorrow morning.
Ms. Owens, you understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind, you won't have the opportunity to call witnesses or present evidence on your own behalf.
That's totally fine. I understand.
And you still wish to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that on June 23rd, 2016, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ms. Owens, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. dismiss the driving with improper or invalid license and assess a fine of $400. You say you can pay that by tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll actually make a notation in the file that you have a week to pay. You can either bring it to the courthouse, you can go online and pay with the ticket number, or you can mail it in.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Owens?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The only other thing is that you have a civil infraction, a registration or plate violation that you owe the court $394 on. Are you prepared to pay that?
I probably can pay that in like 2 weeks. I only can pay one at a time.
Okay. The matter is going to be referred to collections. So when you make the payment on the plea from this morning, the other thing you can do is make arrangements to make payments on the other file, okay?
Okay, so would I have to call or would I just make payments for the other one?
You said you were going to bring it up here, or you're going to go online and pay it?
No, I can pay it online in the morning, but I'm saying for the other one, would I be able to just pay on it, or would I have to
You
call?
can make payments.
Okay.
You can go online and you can submit a request for a payment plan.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Have a good day, Ms. Owens.
You have a better one.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Mr. Kennedy. You're muted, sir. Would you take your cap off for me, please?
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry. Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing this morning?
Thank you. I am wonderful, sir. Thank you for asking. This is 1616060T. This is City of Romulus versus Raymond Kennedy. State your name for me, sir.
Raymond Taiwan Kennedy.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on April 16, 2016, the City of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. Mr. Kennedy, this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the Romulus prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the misdemeanor will be dismissed. You have a couple of options this morning. Do you want to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to proceed with your arraignment, or would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney who is available?
I'll accept the prosecutor's, I'll accept it.
Mr. Kennedy, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or present any evidence.
Yes, I understand.
And you're pleading responsible to the count of double parking freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is it true that on April 16, 2016, in the City of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied.
Mr. Kennedy, the court accepts your plea of responsible to that count of double parking, dismisses the underlying misdemeanor of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Will assess the fine of $400. Are you able to pay that within 30 days, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You can either, thank you, sir. You can either go online and pay it on the court's website. You can mail it into the court, or you can physically bring it to the court, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
All righty. Thank you too. You guys have a good one.
Good to see you, Mr. Kaplan.
Good to see you too, Your Honor.
So, Marianne, here's the problem with the rain. We're waiting for parties to show up, sir. But Marianne, the problem with the rain is that it has brought the rabbits out in a way that was unexpected. They have ravished the sunflowers. There's nothing left but stalks. Their stalks are like this tall. They ate all the leaves off of everything else.
Is that unusual? Have they done that before?
They usually eat the lilies,
Oh,
but they leave
man.
the sunflowers. so there's a cage around the sunflowers and it looks like they're just jumping over. Because now the fence, the little cage, the little fence is knocked down a little bit. I see the person. I don't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. What happened to Mr. Barsuti?
Do you have a file on him? If he comes.
I have it in my hand.
What time?
I saw his name pop up, but then he disappeared. Barsuti.
He's at 10:50.
Barsodi.
Thank you.
He's scheduled at 10:50, but he's here.
Your Honor, just so you're aware, at around 9:15, I'm gonna have to log off for about 15 minutes or so. But I don't think that'll be an issue on this document.
Now.
Hopefully.
When you go dark, I'll understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What happened to Mr. Barsuti, Marianne?
I have no idea.
There's not an offer in the file. It's very early, but early is not a problem. Late is a problem.
Is this one of mine that I didn't have an offer in?
It looks like a
It
Huron,
is not
Josh.
one of yours. It's a Huron one.
That's why, okay.
I didn't think we were Huron. I didn't,
That-
I didn't look at the.
That's the only Huron case on here. I don't know if Angela knows about it either.
Angela.
Or I apologize. Yeah, Huron prosecutor.
Well, he's scheduled at 10:50. If he's not here, Marianne, at that time, I'll send it down to be rescheduled on the right date because I don't think that this is
Okay.
the correct Huron date.
Judge, I don't know which areas the power outage has affected, but I don't know if that has any correlation with nobody showing up so far.
I know I saw last night people complaining of power outages briefly. But even
I
if the
read
power's
this
out,
morning
you
there
can
was
still
more than
get
100,000 people in Wayne County without power.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Mr. Jadala saves the day with information.
I just figured, it has to be something because Al's dockets usually aren't like this. It's usually nonstop for about 3 hours.
When you have $400 and they have FAC, are you including that as the $400 total with the FAC?
Yes,
Okay, thanks.
thank you. Do I need to make that note for her? Or now that she knows one time is enough? Okay, thank you. Marianne, that was going forward, I'll add it because I think that's the appropriate thing to do.
Okay.
The first three were lucky.
So did you just say that that's what you just told me in the courtroom is what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna do something contrary to what I just told you I was going to do.
Okay,
For what she has, she can leave it like it is,
okay,
but going forward, I'll make the record more precise.
okay.
But Mr. Jadala, I didn't think the rain was that bad last night. Maybe I just didn't hear it. I didn't realize it was knocking power out to that degree.
Yeah, this morning, I usually just read the news when I wake up, and this morning on Fox 2, it said that there was almost 100,000 people without power in Wayne County. according to DTE.
I didn't watch the news. I was trying to clear out some DVR stuff.
I'll see if there's any updates. It says here it's now 60K without power after severe weather. So now it's down to 60 all across Southeast Michigan.
Samer, just so you know, I just sent you a plea for that one you emailed me.
Thank you, Josh.
And I sent you the police reports for the cases that would require it, like leaving the scenes and the recklesses. There's only like 6. So I sent you those. So they're in your email.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Your name, please?
Elizabeth Grow,
From?
Canton.
Grow, Your Honor. Grooh, I believe, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It is this fan, I'm telling you. This is 150577, City of Romulus versus Elizabeth Grow. How are you today, ma'am?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Your file was before the court this morning for an arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on February 2nd, 2015, in Wayne County, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied.
Good morning.
This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail. Fines up to $500 plus court costs. There's an offer in the file from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with your arraignment, or would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I like to take the deal, please.
I'm sorry?
I like to take the deal, please.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses or documents on your own behalf.
I understand that.
And you're pleading responsible freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No.
Is it true that on February 2nd, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Will assess the $400. You also have a $45 FAC.
What is that?
For a total, when you fail to timely respond and appear in the matter, there's a clearance fee that's necessary.
Okay.
Are you able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes.
$445 on or before July 21st, 2021. You can either bring it to the court, you can go online and pay, or you can mail it in. Anything else this morning?
Is there a way that I'll be able to do a payment plan?
Yes, ma'am. I can send the matter to collections for a payment plan. Your phone number, please.
734-865-8420.
Okay. And just so you're aware, you have another outstanding matter with the court. You owe $394 on a civil infraction for failing to stop, leaving alley or private drive. That matter went into default back on March the 16th, 2015.
From 9 to 1.
Okay, Ms. Grow, you're all set. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Powell, would you turn your camera on for me, please? Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is 154850OT, City of Romulus versus Jelani James Powell. Will you state your full name for me, please, sir?
Yes, Jelani James Powell.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for arraignment and pretrial, sir. It's alleged that on December 4th, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is an enhanced charge indicating this is not your first driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail, $1,000 fine plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the misdemeanor would be dismissed. The fine for the double parking would be $400. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Would you like to proceed with your arraignment, or would you like the opportunity to speak to the court-appointed attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I would accept the offer.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to see, question, cross-examine any witnesses in this matter?
Yes.
And you like to enter this plea if responsible, you're doing so freely and voluntarily. Nobody's threatened you and promised you anything to get you plea responsible?
Yes.
Is it true that nobody threatened you, correct? Promise you
No.
anything? Okay. Is it true that on December 4th, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Assess the fine of $400. You also have one fee of $45 on the file for a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes, ma'am, I can pay that right now.
You can go online and pay it. You can mail it into the court, or you can bring it to the courthouse, okay?
Okay, how would I, when I tried to pay my previous balance online, I would go type in my information and nothing would pop up on the Michigan website.
It's mi34thdistrictcourt.com.
Okay. And then would I have to type this case number in? 15R5?
Yes, sir, you would.
Okay.
The other thing, Mr. Powell, is that you have another matter, a no proof of insurance ticket where you owe $414. You're a little bit behind on that payment plan as well.
If I could show proof here, would that?
No, sir, because that ticket's from 2015, which means you've been in default.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions this morning?
No, we good.
We're good. You can log off now. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Ratcliffe, please turn your video on. This is 2006270T. This is City of Romulus versus Mindy Ratcliffe. State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Mindy Ratcliffe.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on February 18, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. Ma'am, this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in your file indicating that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney before we proceed?
What did you say it was? And is there a point on that, on my driver's license?
Did you ask about points?
Yeah.
The court doesn't assess points, but there will be no points on the parking ticket.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Ma'am, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to see or cross-examine any witnesses against you.
Okay.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible to this double parking?
No.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
Ms. Ratcliffe, is it true that on February 18, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied? Oh, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended, assess the $400 agreed to. There is a $45 fee on your file for failing to appear in court. That's a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time?
I can pay that.
Okay, ma'am, I'll make a notation in the file that you would pay that $445 on or before July 21st, 2021. You can go online and pay it. You can bring it to the courthouse or you can mail it into the courthouse, okay?
Okay, may I also have the case number attached to this so I can pay it online, please?
The case number is 20-0627OT.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Ratcliffe?
No, thank you, and you have a great day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you. You can log off now.
Your Honor, I'm going to log off and log back on when I'm able to. Okay?
Thank you, sir. See you later. She brought me her question, so I adjusted myself accordingly. No, it's fine. Just
Because some of them,
I don't usually.
because sometimes they include it, sometimes back it out and include it, and some people say no, it's extra.
No, she came and asked me, so I just started
Yes.
circling the 45, but the first three, they get what I put on the record, the
No, no,
rest of
yeah,
them.
that's really fine.
Okay.
No, but thank you for putting them, I just see on there. Because everybody writes that. Because you write which dollars there, like not everybody does that. I'm like, I don't know.
It's force of habit.
It's very, because when we just, when we put that in.
I've done it from practicing, 'cause I forget who I was in court with,
It's
so
very good, thank you.
you're welcome. Anything else I can do, let me know.
Judge, I'll be back in a second. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. I'll watch the,
thanks. I'm back.
we missed you.
You're funny.
Listen, I'm running 2 shows a day. Come on. You know, many thanks to Michelle Buckberry for helping this morning.
Oh, yeah, she's making it easy on me.
I try to remember to say thank you, being mindful that, you know, we say this as a team, it truly is. Everybody's pitching in, getting the files situated so that people can come in and pay and get back on their way. I saw the stat for files for tomorrow, but I think there's only 1 docket.
Yeah, for you. Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I thought we had 2 for some reason. I thought we had, I'll have to look at my calendar. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
What is your name, please?
Markeisha Bigham.
Ms. Bigham, this is 21RP01048, A, B, and C. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial in these matters. It is alleged that on March 13th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fines of up to $500 plus court costs. There is also a registration or plate violation, another misdemeanor, and a speeding, limited access speeding, 6 to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. The civil infraction carries a fine and cost of $150. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the driving while license suspended, the registration or plate violation, and the speeding ticket would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor? Proceed with your arraignment or speak to the court-appointed attorney.
I would like to accept the offer.
I'm sorry?
I would like to accept the offer.
Thank you. Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea of responsible this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind in this matter. You won't have the opportunity to see or cross-examine any witnesses.
Yes, I understand.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible? Or are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
Ma'am, is it true that on March 13th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
The court accepts your plea in this matter to the double parking. We'll assess the fine of $400. Dismiss the driving while license suspended, the registration or plate violation, as well as the speeding ticket. Are you able to pay this within 30 days?
Yes.
I'll make a notation in the file that you will pay a total of $400 on or before July 21st, 2021. You can make that payment online, mi34thdistrictcourt.com, or you can mail it into the court, or you can physically bring it to the court and the court officers will assist you in making the payment.
Okay.
Any questions this morning?
No.
Ms. Bigham, we're all set. You have a wonderful day, ma'am.
Thank you, you too.
Hi, good morning. The person that has the phone number on the screen, can you hear me?
Yes.
What is your name, please?
John Dooley.
Thank you.
This is 21RP00277 A and B, City of Romulus versus John Dooley. Would you state your name for me, please, sir?
John Dooley III.
Thank you. Today is the day and
Welcome.
time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on January 21st, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, you were also charged with a civil infraction of speeding, 1 to 5 over the posted limit. This is a civil infraction with fines and costs totaling $180. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the driving while license suspended, and the speeding would be dismissed. Would you like to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I would like to accept the offer from the prosecutor.
I'm sorry, did you say accept the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes.
Mr. Dooley, you understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to see, cross-examine any witnesses against you.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is it true that on January 21st, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
I am satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Dooley, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the speeding civil infraction and the driving while license misdemeanor, assess the fine of $400 as indicated in the plea. So are you able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes, I am.
I'll make a notation in the court file that you will pay a total of $400 on or before July 21st, 2021. Sir, you can either make that payment online, you can mail it into the court, or you can bring it to the courthouse and the court officers will assist you in processing that payment. Do you have any questions this morning, Mr. Dooley?
No, I do not.
We're all set, sir. You can hang up now.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. This is 144123 OT, City of Romulus versus Philip Walker Johnson. Mr. Johnson, are you able to pull over? Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Johnson, how are you this morning?
I'm better now. I'm sorry. It took me, I had to come to my daughter's house to get help because I was driving and I didn't know how to activate the volume. So I'm
You're
ready.
fine, sir. You're fine. Where we are this morning is your case is scheduled for, it says arraignment and pretrial, but it looks like you were arraigned back on August 5th, 2015. You entered a plea of not guilty with Judge Oakley at that time. The matter was set for pretrial that was adjourned a couple of times in 2015. Bench warrants were issued for you. And you're appearing here today. There is an offer in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license suspended misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, or would you like to speak to the court-appointed attorney?
Yes, I do. I wish to accept the offer.
Mr. Johnson, you understand that if the court accepts your plea of responsible this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to see or cross-examine any witnesses or present any evidence on your own behalf.
Yes.
And you're going to plead responsible freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No, I have not.
Is it true, sir, that on October 9th, 2014, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Yeah, satisfied. Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended charge, and assess the fine of $400. You also owe the court one clearance fee of $45. Are you able to pay that $445 in 30 days, or do you need more time?
Yes, I can pay it within 30 days. I'm going to pay it this week.
I'll make a note in the file that you will pay $445. I'll say the 30 days. If you pay it sooner, that's fine. $445 by July 21st, 2021. You can either go online to the court's website and pay it using the ticket number. You can mail it to the court, or you can bring it to the court, and the court officers will help process your payment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No.
Mr. Johnson, you have a great day.
You have a blessed day too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. $63,548 customers still showing without power. Wow. Mary Ann. Thank you. This is 21RP00466 A and B. This is City of Romulus versus Cyril Ashodi. Could you state your
Yeah.
name for me, please?
It's going to be Cyril Oshodi.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for arraignment and pretrial. Sir, it's alleged that on February 6th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus a fine of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day in the city of Romulus, you were also issued a civil infraction for limited access speeding, going more than 26 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. Sir, there is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the speeding ticket and the driving while license suspended misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with your arraignment on your own, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
You said that the prosecution offered me to do what again? You said
Plead responsible to double parking.
Yeah, double
and
parking.
pay a fine of $600.
Okay, you said double parking. What exactly is double? What does that mean?
Sir, what you'll see right now is a button to join a breakout room. You'll go into the breakout room and talk to the court-appointed attorney, okay?
Double parking.
He'll be able to explain to you what that means.
Okay.
Okay. This is 21RP01093A, City of Romulus versus Donald Lee Pate.
Yes. Huh?
Could you state your name for me, please, sir?
My name is Donald Pate.
Mr. Pate, today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. It's alleged that on March 17, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was not valid or had an improper license. This is a misdemeanor. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license improper would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I'm on disability and I don't have $400 right now to pay.
Mr. Pate?
Yes.
So the options are accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney.
Accept. I accept it from the prosecutor.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call or cross-examine witnesses that are presented.
Yes.
And you're pleading responsible freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on March 17, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Double parked?
Yes, sir.
No, I wasn't double parked.
Mr. Pate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your file to the side. I'm going to handle one matter, and then I'm going to send you into the breakout room with the court-appointed attorney, okay?
Okay.
Sit tight for just one moment. Back on the record in the case ending 466, Oshadi.
For Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Oshadi. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Mr. Oshadi would like to avail himself to the plea of one count of double parking with a $600 fine.
Mr. Oshadi, you were able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes.
And you had the opportunity to meet with him in the breakout room and discuss your rights and the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes.
And you wish to avail yourself of that offer and plead responsible to the added count of double parking?
Correct. Yes.
And you're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is it true that on February 6, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, assess the fine of $600 as provided in the plea agreement. Are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time?
I need more time.
I will refer the matter to collections. Your phone number, please.
248-259-9776.
Okay, Mr. Oshadi, I'm sending the file to collections. You can also contact the court. Go to the court's website, online, submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning, sir?
No.
We're all set. You can log off. Mr. Jadala, I'm going to ask you to join Mr. Pate in the breakout room. He has a driving while license not valid. There's an offer from the prosecutor for double parking, $400. Back on the record in the matter of Donald Pate, Mr. Jadala, was that sufficient time to discuss the matter with him?
It was, Your Honor. Respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Pate. For purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. And Mr. Pate would like to avail himself to the plea to a double parking. He'd also need more time to pay, Your Honor. We'd ask that you send him to collections after he takes the plea.
Thank you. Mr. Pate, were you able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes.
And you do wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes.
And Mr. Jadala had time to explain the rights that you had in this matter and the offer of the prosecutor?
Yes.
And is it true that on March 17, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Pate, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, assess the agreed upon fine of $400, and refer the matter to collections. May I have your phone number, please?
313-463-9538.
Thank you, sir. I'll put that number in the file for the collections to be in contact with you, but feel free to go to the court's website, which is mi34thdistrictcourt.com, where you can submit a request for payment plan as well, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anything else this morning, Mr. Pate?
No, ma'am.
We're all set, sir. You can log off. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne, it is 9:49 and there are still 30 files from this morning that have not had anyone check in. I'm starting to get a little concerned.
Yep.
Power being what it is, I guess sirens are still going off somewhere. Good morning, Ms. Harris.
Good morning.
This is 191185 and 19R00344498B. City of Romulus versus Jasmine Harris. Please state your name for me.
Jasmine Harris.
Ms. Harris, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on March 19, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fines of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, ma'am, it's also alleged that you had a registration or plate violation. This is another misdemeanor. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, that both of these misdemeanors would be dismissed. The fine for the double parking would be $400. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney about your options?
Yes, but I'm sorry. I'm kind of confused because you said the date was 2019. I thought that I was coming here for something that happened last year, because that's what I got in the mail.
Miss Harris,
and the incident that you're talking about, I know I spoke to somebody on the phone and they told me that they had me confused with somebody else.
Ms. Harris, you are right. There are in fact 3 files. The 2 files that I pulled were from 2019. There is a 2020 file. Oh, Ms. Harris, what's your middle name, please?
Cherie.
Thank you. That is my error. There is another Jasmine Harris. Let me put that on the side for right now. Jasmine Cherie Harris is 20RP07375OT. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
This is still the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. It's alleged that on December 4th, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you failed to stop or identify after a property damage accident. Ma'am, this is in fact a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to failing to report an accident, that the failure to stop or identify after a property damage accident would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, or would you like to proceed with the arraignment or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
What's the offer?
Failure to report the accident.
Okay, and what is that something that's going to go on my record?
Ms. Harris, what I'll suggest is that you join Mr. Jadala, the court-appointed attorney, in the breakout room. He'll discuss the prosecutor's offer with you, okay?
Okay.
You'll see a button on your phone, on your screen, to join the breakout room, okay? Marianne, while they're in the breakout room, I'm going to step off for just a second.
Okay.
Mm,
Mr. Jadala, was that enough time to talk to Ms. Harris?
It was, but Miss Harris disappeared.
I have a feeling she'll be back.
Yes.
Mr. Aaron, if you turn your video on, I'm able to call your case.
How you doing?
Thank you. This is 21RP01201 A and C. This is City of Romulus versus Michael Aaron. State your name for me, please, sir.
It's Michael Everett Aaron.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. It's alleged that on March 25th, 2021, in the City of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, sir, in the City of Romulus, it's also alleged that you had no proof of insurance. This is a civil infraction with fines and costs of $220. There is an offer in the file from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended and the no proof of insurance would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed
Yeah.
with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney in this matter?
No, I'd rather go with that, the first one.
Sir, you understand that if I accept your plea of responsible in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind. You give up all the rights associated with proceeding.
Yes,
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatening anything. You haven't been promised anything to get you to plea responsible.
no,
Is it true, Mr. Aaron, that on March the 25th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
yes,
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan? The prosecutor was here. Mr. Aaron, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Assess the agreed upon fine of $400. Are you able to pay that within 30 days?
I need a little bit longer than that.
No problem. I can refer the matter to the collections department. May I have a phone number for you, please?
Here, phone number is 586-329-5872.
Sir, I will forward the file to the collections department. If you wish, you can go on the court's website, which is mi34thdistrictcourt.com, and submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay,
Anything else this morning, Mr. Aaron?
so that's all I owe is for 400?
Yes, sir. The driving while license suspended and the no proof of insurance ticket are being dismissed.
Okay then.
Okay?
So would I get something in the mail stating how long do I got to pay the money?
I'm telling you right now, and if you haven't paid within 30 days, you should be hearing from the collections department between now and then.
Okay,
Anything else?
that'll be it.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge?
So Marianne,
Oh, go ahead.
Nope.
Judge Oakley was just in here and he wanted me to let you know that he got a hold of Justin, and he's going to try and fix your vent noise.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's just the blower, and I understand. And I can't hear. I can hear, and I'm concerned about people hearing me, but I don't know that the people on the other end hear the blower.
No, I can't hear it at all.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't hear it over here, Your Honor.
You're crystal clear, Judge.
That's good to know. It just sounds like a constant low blowing, but Marianne, what I was starting to say is Heather reminded me to use the stamps versus writing. I don't know if it's my handwriting or she's concerned about something else. I'm thinking, what else do I write all the time that a stamp would be beneficial?
Oh, yeah. Well, if you think of something, let me know.
I am thinking of something. When we get to the end of the docket, I go in each file and write. Defendant failed to appear at, and I put the time in there. Uh-oh, I saw somebody who then disappeared. you doing to people, Marianne?
I know I've got a bad touch today, don't I?
I saw Mr. Selma come and appear and disappear. I hope he comes right back. I just saw news that the Michigan State Police are going to start cracking down on speeders again.
Thanks for the heads up.
Well, they put out the public service announcements when they are going to do enforcement. So they warn you. They're calling it the Great Lakes High Stakes Campaign. Over 30 law enforcement agencies are participating in this move to slow drivers down. I'm not suggesting that you have a lead foot. I'm just making a general statement that this is what's going on. Good morning, Mr. Moore.
Morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I am wonderful. Thanks for asking. Calling 162679 OT. This would be City of Romulus versus Antoine Moore. State your name for me, please, sir.
Antoine Moore.
Mr. Moore, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on June 19, 2016, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney in this matter?
Accept the offer from prosecutor.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea of responsible in this matter, you won't have a trial of any kind. You'll give up the right to see and cross-examine any witnesses that the prosecutor may put forward.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea of responsible freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plea responsible?
No.
Is it true that on June 19, 2016, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible in this matter. Assess the $400 fine indicated on the plea form. You also have a FAC of $45. That's a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need more time to pay?
More time.
May I have a phone number for you, please?
313-850-3124.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I'll refer the matter to the collections department to get in touch with you about a payment plan, but you also can contact the court directly, ask for the collections department to set a payment plan, or go online to mi34thdistrictcourt.com and submit a request for a payment plan. Before you leave today, I also want to advise you that you have an outstanding speeding ticket where you owe the court $370. I'll make a notation that I've reminded you of that. And when you speak with the court about the payment plan, you can also speak to them about that matter. And you have a no proof of insurance where you owe the court $478. When you speak to the collections department about any of these matters, they can set a single payment plan across all three files, okay?
Okay.
Anything else today?
That's all.
Mr. Moore, have a good day. You can log off, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Why was it Thursday like this?
Which part of it, like this, slow or plea deals?
I think the speed. Thursday, I looked up at one point, the screen was full and our waiting room was like half of the column. I couldn't believe it.
Well, and then we also had like a 6 or 7 MIDC too, which always causes some chaos.
MIDC is always a plus.
Oh, absolutely.
And Marianne is on it today. People barely appear in the waiting room, and then I see them here. And he's back. Sweet.
I'm back. Thank you.
I let him in, Mr. Selma in, waiting for his audio is connected. Wonderful. This is 20RP05391 A and B, City of Romulus versus Dion Selma. Could you state your name for me, please, sir?
Dion Selma.
Thank you. Sir, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on August 23rd, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus $500 fine and court costs. On that same day, you're also charged with reckless driving. Sir, this is also a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead guilty to the driving while license suspended and an amended count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the reckless driving would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney about your options?
I want to speak to the attorney.
Watch your screen, sir. You'll see a button to join the breakout room. You will go into the breakout room with Mr. Jadala to discuss the matter, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Judge, that was one count of DWLS and one count of allowing?
On the offer, yes, sir.
And you have the report, Sam.
Thank you.
Have you seen Officer Brooks this morning, Marianne?
I have not. I think he had something going on. He'll be here soon.
Understood. I didn't come through the front hall this morning and I saw Dan, but that was it. There must be something going on next door. Mr. Jadala, was that enough time with Mr. Selma?
It has, Your Honor. Respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Selma. For purposes of arraignment, Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. After speaking with Mr. Selma, he'd like to plead guilty to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and as charged to a count of driving while license suspended, Your Honor. We just asked if there was any bonds posted, if they could be applied to all costs and fines.
Thank you. Mr. Selma, were you able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes, I was.
And it's your understanding that you will plead guilty to one count of driving while license suspended and allowing an unlawful driver to drive.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're doing that freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Jadala, you had sufficient time with Mr. Jadala for him to explain the rights that you will be giving up by entering pleas in this matter?
Yes.
And you still wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes. Will there be anything on my record?
The driving while license suspended is 2 points. The 6 points reckless driving is being dismissed.
Okay.
Mr. Selma, is it true that on August 23rd, 2020, in the city of Romulus, that you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes.
And is it also true that on August 23rd, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you allowed the unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Selma, the court will accept your pleas in these matters. Dismiss the reckless driving charge. As for the driving while license, Mr. Jadala, any comment as to fees and costs in this matter?
Your Honor, just that Mr. Selma, Your Honor, believes that he has valid bonds. We'd ask that those be applied if they are valid, and depending on the balance, he may need a payment plan.
Okay. I'm looking in the file. And it appears that the bond that had been previously posted was forfeited. When he failed to appear previously. So fines and costs in this matter for the driving while license suspended, there will be there'll be a fine of $500, a cost of $100, crime victims of $75, a $100 warrant fee, mandatory state cost of $20, fund fee of $20, a late fee of $50. That's $895 on the driving while license suspended, and on the allowing an unlawful driver to drive.
Okay. Yes, I was trying to actually get in some of my Zoom calls, and it never would let me. Like, it would always like hold me, or I would never like actually make the call. And then I kept rescheduling it, and then when I would reschedule, I just couldn't get in.
On allowing the, I heard you, Mr. Selma. On allowing the unlawful driver to drive, there's a fine of $300, cost of $100, crime victims of $75, mandatory state cost of $50, fund fee of $20, warrant fee of $100, a late fee of $50, for a total of $695. The matter will be referred to collections for the payment plan. And Mr. Selma, we have a phone number for you that ends in 0014. Is that valid?
No.
Your phone number, please.
Area code 616-617-4417.
As indicated, the matter is going to be referred to collections. You can also go online to mi34thdistrictcourt.com and submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Selma, you're all set. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, you too.
This is 21 RP 0136 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Naquan Humphreys. The matters were scheduled at 8:30 a.m. It is now 10:35 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas shall issue. This is 21 RP 0134 A and B. City of Romulus versus Sherelle Parker. These matters were scheduled at 8:30 a.m. It's now 10:36 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas shall issue in the driving while license suspended matter and default in the accompanying failure to yield. This is 21 RP 01028 A and B. City of Romulus versus Montel Lee Stafford. This matter was scheduled for 8:30 a.m. It is now 10:37 a.m. by the court's clock.
That's funny.
I know that this is not this file. In any event, the matter was scheduled for 8:30 a.m. It is now 10:37 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas shall issue. Mary Ann, do your thing.
Really? Sir, can you hear me? The gentleman who has smooth as cream cheese. Can you hear me? Sir, what is your name, please? Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me?
You want to just move him back in the waiting room, maybe get his attention, and you can bring him back out. This is 21 RP 01230 OT. City of Romulus versus Tiffany Withrow. This matter was scheduled for 8:30 a.m. It's now 10:39 by the court's clock. The only person in the court's virtual waiting room does not match the description in the file. Based on the defendant's failure to appear, habeas shall issue. Good morning, sir. With the orange shirt. Your name, sir, with the orange shirt and the black hat?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Your name, please. Good morning, sir. This is 191890OT, City of Romulus versus Danielle Coyle. This matter was scheduled for 8:40 a.m. It is now 10:41 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, capias shall issue. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room matching this description. Ms. Coyle also has two matters up for review: an impeding traffic where $430 is due and owing, and a no proof of insurance where $478 is due and owing.
Anybody hear me? I can't hear anything.
I can hear you, sir. Your name, please?
Eric Steen.
I'm sorry, last name is?
Eric, E-R-I-C, Steen, S-T-E-E-N.
Thank you. This is 20RP06214B, City of Romulus versus Eric Steen. Mr. Steen, you were scheduled this morning for arraignment and pretrial. Sir, it is alleged that on September 29th, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the misdemeanor of driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
So it just cost me $400? Because I already paid all the rest of the tickets on it, right? Yes,
This is the only thing I have, sir.
Yep.
You wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor?
And that would make it to where nothing's on my record, or I can get my license back? Yes, I'll accept.
Is this the only thing you have outstanding?
That was the only thing, yes.
So do you want to proceed, or do you have some questions for the court-appointed attorney?
No, I want to proceed. I want to pay this fine and get my license back.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind? You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses or cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And you still wish to proceed with the plea of responsible?
Yes.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
That is correct.
Sir, is it true that on September 29, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, the court satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court accepts your plea of responsible, sir, to the added count of double parking, will assess the $400 fine provided on the plea agreement. Are you able to pay that amount within 30 days, sir?
Yes, I can.
I'll make an indication in the file that you will pay $400 on or before July 21st, 2021. You can either go online, type in the ticket number, and pay the fine that way. You can mail it into the court, or you can bring it to the courthouse, and the court officers will help process the payment. Anything else, Mr. Steen?
That is it.
We're all set, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. This is 1820710 OT, City of Romulus versus Keith Preep.
Yes,
State your name for me, please, sir.
my name is Keith Privy.
Sir, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial in this matter. It is alleged that on May the 13th, 2018, in the City of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fines of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license suspended misdemeanor will be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney in this matter?
Okay, so the double parking,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
understand that.
Well, Mr. Preep, what I'm going to do is that you're going to see an invitation to join the breakout room. You'll join Mr. Jadala, who is the court-appointed attorney, to discuss the fact that you've been charged with the misdemeanor, a driving while license suspended, and that there's an offer from the prosecutor that you plead responsible to double parking, okay?
Okay, so just join that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This is 20HR095887AOT. This is Huron Township versus Austin Barsuti.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Would you state your name for me, please?
My name is Austin Barsotti.
Mr. Barsotti, the matter is scheduled for arraignment and pretrial this morning. It is alleged that on September 19, 2020, in Huron Township, you had a registration and/or plate violation, which is a misdemeanor with a fine of $100 and up to 90 days in jail. There is no prosecutor here this morning from Huron Township. How do you wish to proceed in this matter?
Guilty.
Mary Ann, did we ever find out the Huron date? I thought I wrote it down somewhere.
I don't know. I will find out.
Okay. Mr. Barsuti, you understand that if you were to plead guilty in this matter, there are certain ramifications, certain consequences that you could face. Do you wish to speak to the court-appointed attorney before you proceed this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay. There is another matter ahead of you, but if you sit tight when we dispose of Mr. Preeb's matter, you'll go into a breakout room with the court-appointed attorney.
Okay.
Mr. Jadala, were you ready to proceed in 182071?
Yes, Your Honor. Respectfully, Samer Jadala, P62186, appearing on Mr. Preeby. Your Honor, Mr. Preeby at this time would like to avail himself to the plea. He'll be pleading responsible to one count of double parking. He understands the rights he's waiving by doing such.
Mr. Preeby, you were able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yeah,
And you would, yes?
yes. I'm sorry.
And you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor in this matter?
Yes,
And Mr. Jadala had an opportunity to explain the rights you had and the rights you would be giving up if you accepted this plea.
yes,
And you still wish to proceed?
yes,
And you're doing so voluntarily?
yes,
Sir, is it true that on May 13, 2018, in Marianne, yeah, there was more than one Huron. I don't know how this got in the file. Mr. Jadala, my apologies. This file says Huron Township. We have an offer from the Romulus prosecutor in this file.
Oh,
Today is not a Huron day, so we cannot proceed with a plea offer from another agency.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't see the HR prefix in the case number. I just saw a regular case number.
Same here, Your Honor.
Mr. Jadala.
For having a plea on that one.
I had the same issue. Marianne's gonna find out the good Huron date, but as for the arraignment in this matter, Mr. Jadala.
Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute, and I will just let Mr. Preby and Mr. Barsotti know that it's in their best interest to ask for a pretrial so they can get an offer and to plead not guilty today and have the judge give you the new court date once she has that new court date for both of you.
July 19th with Judge Green.
At what time?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. So, Mr. Preby, what the court will do is have you stand mute to the charges currently against you. Set your bond at $3,000 personal. The matter will be scheduled for pretrial on July the 19th, 2021 at 9 a.m. with Judge Green. That will give the Huron Township prosecutor an opportunity to review this matter, potentially appear, and may extend an offer of some sort to you or may decide to proceed. The court's not sure, but we know that the prosecutor is not here for that jurisdiction this morning.
Okay, and will it be another Zoom meeting like this?
It will be another Zoom, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
You're all set. Have a good day.
you too.
This is back with Barsotti 20HR09587A. Mr. Barsotti, did you hear the conversation that we just had on the record?
I did not.
Okay, sir, what has happened is that this ticket, I'm sorry, Mr. Jadala.
Mr. Barsotti,
This ticket was issued by Huron Township, who is not, the prosecutor is not here this morning. Typically, what would happen is that you would have the opportunity to talk to the prosecutor about a possible offer, but in as much as no one is here from that department, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Set your bond at $1,000 personal. And schedule the matter for pretrial on July the 19th, 2021 at 9 a.m. And that will be by Zoom again with Judge Green. I understand your comments before, but it usually is in your best interest to at least have the opportunity to meet with the prosecutor.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll see you back here on the 19th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your assistance, Mr. Jadala.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Judge. Right here.
Your last name?
Vines. V as in Victor, INES.
You're calling out to me for a reason, Mr. Vines?
Yes, I have a hearing for driving while license suspended and around this.
Yes, sir. We were gonna get to you. We just we didn't call you yet. We hadn't gotten to you yet. You're fine though.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm making sure.
Mr. Vines, you're fine. If you give me 1 second. This is 20RP054718. City of Romulus versus Eric Jermaine Vines Jr.
Yes.
Mr. Vines, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It is alleged that on August 29, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus fines of up to $500 in court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license suspended will be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or have the opportunity to speak with the court-appointed attorney?
How long do I have to pay the 400?
Usually 30 days, sir. If you need longer, the matter could be referred to collections.
Yeah, I'll pay the 400 within 30 days, yes. So I will plead
Mr.
guilty.
Vines, you understand that the court accepts your plea of responsible in this matter. You give up all your rights associated with disputing the matter.
Yes.
You give up your right to call witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
No one's threatening you in any way, promise you anything to get you to plead responsible?
Yeah, no.
Is it true that on August 29, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Double parked?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court accepts your plea. Mr. Vines will assess the $400 fine that is provided in the plea agreement. There is one $45 FAC for a total of $445. You've already indicated that you needed time to pay. May I have your phone number, please?
248-989-5041.
Mr. Vines, I'll make an indication in the file that the matter is referred to collections with your phone number. If you wish, you can go on the court's website and submit a request for payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning?
No, that'll be all.
Mr. Vines, you have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, you too.
Thank you. Mr. Youngs, what is your client's name, please?
Jackson, Your Honor, Harold.
This is 21RP01203 A and B, City of Romulus versus Harold Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Youngs on behalf of Mr. Jackson. I just had a brief chat with Mr. Kaplan, and I don't see my client on the screen yet. Is there any possibility you could call a few more cases and let me corral Mr. Jackson and think about the offer?
I'll put the file on the side. If you can wrangle your client, we'll get you your case recalled.
Thank you so much, Judge. I'll be with you in a moment.
Thank you. Mr. Haysha.
Your Honor, good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And good morning to the gallery as well and your staff. Your Honor, my client, Jordan Kitchens, I've been text messaging with him all morning. We're on a bit early. He's joining right now.
He's here. I see him. This is 21RP01226 OT, City of Romulus versus Jordan Kitchens.
And Your Honor, good morning once again to you and your staff, Vincent Haysha, P76506, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Kitchens, who appears via Zoom with no objection to proceeding.
I'm sorry, sir. P76506?
Yes, Your Honor.
We don't have an appearance in the file, so I wanted the number to be straight for the clerks.
Very sorry about that, Your Honor. I know that my staff sometimes runs into issues with the facts. Your Honor, as to...
And Mr. Kitchens, state your name for me, please.
Go ahead. Sorry, Your Honor. This is the clunkiness
That's
of Zoom.
okay.
Go ahead.
Mr. Kitchens, would you state your name for me, please?
Jordan Ray Kitchens.
We're scheduled this morning for arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Haitian.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the arraignment waive formal reading, stand Mr. Kitchens mute.
There is an offer from the prosecutor that if your client pleads responsible to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and pay a fine of $600, that the reckless driving would be dismissed. Is that how you wish to proceed, or do you need the opportunity to speak to Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, I have spoken to Mr. Kaplan. I want to thank him for that offer. It's a very, very fair offer considering the circumstances. I've gone through this with Mr. Kitchens. He understands that this is a non-abstractable traffic misdemeanor carrying 0 points, which will not go onto a driving record. With that in mind, Your Honor, he is prepared to move forward, waive his advice of rights and his trial rights, and enter a plea today.
Mr. Kitchens, you were able to hear your attorney this morning,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have had the opportunity to discuss all of your rights with him and the offer from the prosecutor,
Yes, ma'am.
and you wish to plead guilty to the added count of allowing an unlawful driver to drive.
Yes, ma'am.
And is it true that on March 27, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Haitian?
Your Honor, I am so satisfied.
The court will accept your plea, Mr. Kitchens, to the added count of allowing an unlawful driver to drive. Will dismiss the reckless driving charge in keeping with the plea agreement reached by the parties, assess a total fine of $600. Sir, are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need more time?
I need a little bit more time.
Your phone number, please, Mr. Kitchens.
313-739-0164.
Sir, the matter will be referred to collections. You can also call the court and set a payment plan, or you can go on the court's website and submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Haitian?
No, Your Honor, it's good to appear before you. Thank you much, and thank you again to Mr. Kaplan for that offer.
Thanks, Vince.
Take care.
Thank you. Mr. Kitchens, we're all set. You can log off and have a good day.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Thank you. Ma'am with the black tank top on, your name, please.
Bianca Renee Cortland.
Fine now.
This is 1-844-07-OT, City of Romulus versus Bianca Renee Cortland. Ms. Cortland, state your name again, please.
Bianca Renee Cortland.
Your file is showing as being scheduled for an arraignment pretrial in this matter. You had been arraigned back on March 7, 2019, where you entered a plea of not guilty before Judge Tina Brooks Green. The matter was then scheduled for pretrial. Looks like you failed to appear a couple of times, warrant issued, pretrials were reset. Bringing us to today, where there is an offer from the prosecutor on the sole count of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, or would you like the opportunity to speak to the court-appointed attorney to go over your rights?
I'll pay the $400 so I could just get it over
Ma'am,
with.
you understand that if the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand. So when I pay the $400, the warrant, everything is gone. It's clear.
Well, there is one more $45 FAC clearance fee for the court, so it would be actually a total of $445, and then
Okay.
that's all you have with this court.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it true that on October 17, 2018, in the city of Romulus, You were double parked contrary to law.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Will dismiss the underlying driving while license suspended, assess the $400 fine provided in the plea agreement, and the $45 FAC for a total of $445. Ma'am, are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time?
I can pay in 30 days.
There'll be an indication on the file that the $445 is due on or before July 21st, 2021. Ma'am, you can either go online and make that payment, you can mail it into the court, or you can bring it to the court and the court officers will help you make that payment, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Cortland, we're all set. Have a good day. Mr. Youngs, your client is here. Let me dispose of one more matter and I'll call your case. This is 1515540 OT, City of Romulus versus Roland Poag.
Want me to stay on the phone?
No.
Yes.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Judge.
Would you state your name for me, please, sir?
Roland John Pogue Jr.
Thank you. Your matter is scheduled for arraignment and pretrial this morning. It is alleged that on April 18, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible.
Your Honor, I apologize. I'm going to amend the offer. May I put it on the record?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If the client pleads responsible to improper lane use, the people would be willing to dismiss the improper lane use accidents and reduce the fail to stop at the accident to a fail to report.
Your Honor, is this on the Jackson matter or the Pogue matter?
Oh, I apologize. I thought
This is Pogue.
My apologies, Your Honor. I thought we were on Jackson. Your Honor, I apologize.
Mr. Poeg, as the court was indicating previously, there is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking, the driving while license, and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. You wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I wish to accept the offer.
Thank you. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You give up all rights associated with having a trial. You give up the right to present witnesses on your own behalf, cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, I am.
No one's threatening you in any way, promised you anything to get you to plead guilty, plead responsible?
No, they have not.
Is it true, Mr. Poeg, that on April 18, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor. I do apologize again.
Mr. Poeg, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended, assess the $400 fine agreed to in the plea agreement, and assess the $45 FAC for a total of $445. Sir, are you able to pay that within 30 days?
I might need a little more time, Judge.
Okay, sir, I'll send the matter over to collections. Your phone number, please.
989-321-0774.
Thank you. I'll send the matter over to collections, but you are free to call the court, ask for the collections department, and make a payment, an offer for a payment plan, or you can go online to the court's website, mi34thdistrictcourt.com, and submit a written request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning?
No, thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you for your patience. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is 2-1 RP 01203 A and B, City of Romulus versus Harold Jackson.
Good morning again, Judge. Paul Youngs on behalf of Mr. Jackson.
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of the people, Your Honor, and this is the case that we do have a separate plea agreement that I can read to the record if you'd like.
Okay.
Read to the record.
What are you
again.
changing, Mr. Kaplan?
Instead of the defendant, Mr. Jackson, pleading to improper lane use accident, the people would have him plead just to an improper lane use, which is a lesser civil infraction offense. He'd also plead to the fail to report, and the fail to stop at the accident would be dismissed.
Mr. Youngs?
We're interested in the offer, Your Honor. I just want to give my client the final say, but Harold, do you want to take him up on that? You've got to answer verbally.
Mr. Youngs, do you need to go into a breakout room with your client?
I think he's mooted. Harold, can you hear me?
Hear me?
Did you hear the offer that was just made?
Yes.
Are you interested in taking him up on it?
Yes.
Okay. I think there was just a sounding problem, Judge, or a delay.
Okay. Mr. Youngs, do you wish to inquire of your client?
Could I get a little help from the court, Judge? I don't have the ticket in front of me.
I was just trying to have you earn your keep, sir, but Mr. Jackson, you're able to hear your attorney this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that there's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to improper lane use, that the improper lane use accident would be dismissed.
Yes, I understand that.
And also, if you plead responsible to the added count of failing to report an accident, that the misdemeanor of failing to stop or identify after a property damage accident would be dismissed.
Yes, I understand.
And you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Youngs regarding your rights in this matter?
Yes.
And the rights that you would be giving up if you pled guilty and or responsible?
Yes.
Knowing that you still wish to proceed with the plea?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on March 25th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you committed the civil infraction of improper lane use?
Yes.
Is it also true on that day, March 25th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you failed to report an accident?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Youngs?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Any comment as to fines and costs, Mr. Youngs?
My client accepts responsibility, Judge. If you can show him any leniency, we really appreciate it.
Mr. Jackson, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work, sir?
Bart Mallow,
How long have you been there?
3 years now.
Other than yourself, are you responsible for the support of anyone else?
Just my family.
Just your family?
Yes, my wife and kid.
Other than this incident on March 25th of this year, when was the last time you had contact with law enforcement?
Probably 11 or 12 years ago.
Mr. Jackson, as to the improper lane use, the court's going to assess fines and costs totaling $195. As for the misdemeanor in this matter of failing to report an accident, you have appeared and presented yourself to the court extremely close in time to when the citation was issued. You've appeared this morning with court-appointed counsel.
Retained, Judge.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking retained, and I said court-appointed, Mr. Young. You've appeared with retained counsel, offered the plea without equivocating. The court will assess a fine on the failure to stop of $200, cost of $100. Their $75 crime victim, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. On that misdemeanor, that's $445 total. Mr. Jackson, do you need time to pay in these matters, or can you pay within 30 days?
I can pay within 30 days.
You can either go online and pay, you can mail it into the court, or you can bring it into the court. Have them paid by July 21st of this year, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Youngs?
No, Judge. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Mr. Jackson, you're all set. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
How are you, sir?
Good morning.
Morning.
See if you can get any files.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're tired.
Oh, no.
Thank you. I wasn't looking for you. I just hadn't seen you this morning.
Are you off?
I'm on.
I know.
I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'm almost, well, I'm not almost done.
All right.
Marianne, I wasn't watching. Who was here first? Or does it matter to you?
Miss Kidd.
Miss Kidd.
Yes, this is her. This is she.
This is 20RP04649BOT. This is City of Romulus versus Camry Kidd.
Yes.
Could you state your name for me, please, ma'am?
Camry Kidd.
Miss Kidd, your case was scheduled at 11:30. It's 11:17. I know that you've been here for a hot second or two. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on July 27, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended misdemeanor would be dismissed. Ms. Kidd, my question to you is, do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed on the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney about your options?
Well, I'm really not too knowledgeable about the court situation.
Okay.
My thing is
Ms.
that I never
Kidd?
knew that the license were
Ms.
suspended.
Kidd, I understand. So what we're gonna do, since you're saying you're not knowledgeable, the court is unable to give you legal advice, but what I can do is send you into a breakout room where you'll speak to the court-appointed attorney, Mr. Jadala, who can explain to you what the charges you face and the offer from the prosecutor, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm seriously, ma'am. Join the breakout room. You'll talk to him, and when you come out, the case will be recalled.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. John,
Yes,
your last name, please, sir.
Rupert.
Mr. Rupert, this is 1833130T, City of Romulus versus John Rupert. State your name again for me, please.
John Rupert.
Mr. Rupert, today is the day and time set for your arraignment pretrial, but if you sit, give me 1 second, let me complete Ms. Kidd and I'll recall your case. Back
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
record, the case ending 4649B, Kidd. Mr. Jadala.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Kidd. Your Honor, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute for purposes of arraignment. Ms. Kidd would like to avail herself to the plea where she'll be pleading responsible to 1 count of double parking.
Ms. Kidd, you were able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes.
And you had time to speak to him about the rights available to you and the rights you'd be giving up if you entered the plea of responsible this morning?
Yes.
And it's your desire to accept the offer from the people and plead responsible to the added count of double parking, understanding that the driver while license suspended would be dismissed?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on July 27, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan? Mr. Kaplan's
My apologies. Yes,
otherwise
I'm satisfied. I apologize.
Thank you.
I have another thing going on.
No worries. The court will accept the plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended misdemeanor, assess the agreed upon fine of $400. The sole cost is the FAC of $45 for a total of $445. Ms. Kidd, are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time to pay?
I just need 30 days.
I'll make a notation in the file that the $445 will be paid on or before July 21st, 2021. Ma'am, you can go online and make the payment. You can mail it into the court or you can bring it to the court. The court officers will help process the payment.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Ms. Kidd.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. Recalling 1833130T, this was Mr. Rupert. Mr. Rupert, I was just starting to say to you that today is the day and time set for your arraignment in this matter. It's alleged that on July 31st, 2018, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus court costs of, a fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney?
I'll accept the offer.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your offer this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have an opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or question any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
I'm sorry, plead responsible?
No.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true, sir, that on July 31st, 2018, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended misdemeanor, assess the agreed upon fine of $400. There's also a $45 FAC for a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time?
I need an extra month for it.
Mr. Rupert, what I'll do is make an indication in the file that the matter needs to go to collection. May I have your phone number, please?
313-673-9531.
Thank you, sir. I'll send the matter to collections. You may also call the court, ask to speak to the collections department to set up a payment plan, or go online and submit a request for payment plan that way.
Okay.
You also have a speeding ticket where you owe the court $370. When you submit the payment plan for the double parking, they can also put the speeding ticket together with it, okay?
Okay, is there any way, when I spoke to a clerk, they told me, ask the judge to see if the speeding ticket could be, cut down a little bit?
I appreciate that, Mr. Rupert, and the position of this court, particularly this courtroom, is that if a default is entered relatively recently, I would say within the 2 or 3 weeks maybe before the court would set aside and consider it. But this matter has been in default since September of 2018. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to decline your request to modify that ticket at all.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Have a good day, sir. Oh. This is 193738 OT, City of Romulus versus Daza Washington Adams. I see you, Miss West. I'll get to you in just 1 second.
Hi, Your Honor, I'm here.
Would you state your name for me, please, ma'am?
Days of Washington Adams.
Ms. Washington Adams, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on September 3rd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file indicating that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended misdemeanor would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney about the rights available and the offer available to you?
I accept the offer.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning to the added count of double parking, that you won't have a trial of any kind? You give up your right to present witnesses on your own behalf and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And you're entering this plea of responsible freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way to get you to plead responsible?
No.
Ma'am, is it true that on September 3rd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Kaplan? Ma'am, it appears we lost the prosecutor, but I have his signed offer. The court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended, assess the $400 fine provided in the plea agreement, and the FAC of $45 for a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need more time to pay?
I can, but I was told I had more than just that ticket. So
you have other matters that are already in default and outstanding. You have $378 due for a no proof of insurance ticket. You have a violation of the seatbelt law, $292. You have a registration or plate violation, another civil infraction, $394, and a no proof of insurance, $478. When you set your payment plan in one, they can apply it to all.
Okay, so can I get a payment plan set up, please?
So I'll make a notation that this matter needs to go to collections. Does your phone number end in 6223?
No.
What's your phone number, please?
313-648-5223.
The matter will be sent to collections, but ma'am, you can also call the court, speak to the collections department, and make an offer for a payment plan, or you can go on the court's website and submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay, did you know the exact total on how much that was? Because that was a lot. I just didn't get the total.
Give me 1 second.
Please.
1987.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. You have a good day, ma'am. This is 190075 OT, City of Romulus versus Brianna West.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine.
Their case this morning is scheduled for arraignment and pretrial. It is alleged that on January 3rd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fine of up to $500 plus court costs. Ma'am, it appears that you were arraigned back on April 4th, 2019 by Judge David Parrott. The matter was scheduled for pretrial on April 15th of 2019, adjourned until May 30th, adjourned again until July 8th, 2019. You failed to appear and a bench warrant was issued in this matter. The warrant was canceled and this hearing was set. Ma'am, are you maintaining your not guilty plea from 2019? Miss West?
Yes. Yes, sorry.
Ma'am?
I'm leaving out for work.
I'm sorry? Miss West?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I said no.
No, you're not maintaining your not guilty plea?
No.
Miss West?
Yes.
The court has, I asked, are you maintaining the not guilty plea that you entered? You entered a not guilty plea back on April 4th of 2019. The question is, are you maintaining that not guilty plea?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 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 yes.
That's why if you stop walking and listen to me, we'll be done relatively quickly. Trust me.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I got you. Sorry.
There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended misdemeanor will be dismissed. Do you wish to accept that offer? Would you like the opportunity to speak to the court-appointed attorney about this matter? Ms. West? Whenever you move, I lose the connection. I can barely hear you, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Your response to the question of accepting the double parking or speaking to the court-appointed attorney? All righty then. This is 191779 OT, City of Romulus versus Antoine Malone.
Hello?
Mr. Malone. Could you turn your video on for me, please, sir?
Okay.
State your name for me, please.
Antonio Malone.
Mr. Malone, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It is alleged that on April 27, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, a fine of up to $500 plus court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor in the file that if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the misdemeanor of driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor, proceed with the arraignment, or speak to the court-appointed attorney about your options?
Only thing my concern was, I think my license was actually valid at the time, but I had my old license on me. So that's the only thing that I did want to state. I think it was actually valid. I just didn't have. I had lost my previous license, so I didn't know if it was. We can make some type of. I don't mind paying something,
Mr. Malone, based on you're saying that your license was valid, what the court's going to do is put you into a breakout room with Mr. Jadala. You're going to see a button on your phone or your screen to join the breakout room. If you go there and speak to him, when you come back out, the case will be recalled.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Hi. Miss West, are you back?
Yes, they are.
This is recalling 190075. Miss West, we lost you there for a second with the audio. You were indicating your response was that you wish to proceed with the double parking, correct? Miss West?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, I did wish to proceed with the double parking.
You understand the court accepts your plea of responsible to double parking. You won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the right to call witnesses or cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor in this matter.
Yes.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you plea responsible?
No.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on January 3rd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
The court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the driving while license suspended misdemeanor, assess the $400 fine agreed to on the plea agreement. There's also a $100 bench fee and a $45 FAC for a total of $545. Are you able to pay that within 30 days or do you need more time?
Nope, I'm able to pay it in 30 days.
I'll make an indication on the file that you will pay for $545 on or before July 21st, 2021. You can either go online and pay it, you can mail it into the court, or you can bring it into the court, and the court officers will help you facilitate that payment, okay?
Okay, can you just tell me what the $125, who do I pay that to?
You had a $100 bench warrant fee for your previous failures to appear and the clearance fee. I'm sorry?
Okay, no, I just wanted to check because you kind of like broke up on that part, so I just wanted to check.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you, too.
I see Mr. Malone is back, but I don't see Mr. Jadal. Oh. Marianne, did we lose? I see Mr. Jadal is still in the breakout room. Mr. Malone, did you need to go back with Mr. Jadala?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was disconnected, or my son.
You can
My
go,
son
you
right
can go
here.
back in there.
Okay.
Marianne, I'm going to try to get Mr. Howell on the phone.
Mr. Malone?
Please leave your message for Roger Howell.
Marianne, so I've tried to call Mr. Howell. The matter was scheduled at, I just saw it, at 10:30. It's now 11:41 by the court's clock. Was he not able to connect, or was he just having some other technical problems?
Not able to connect.
I'll hold the file here based on the fact that he has contacted the court. If he doesn't call back in by the end of the docket, what we'll do is just reschedule it and indicate that there was a technical problem. This is 191185 and 19R003449BOT. These are City of Romulus versus Jasmine Alicia Tanae Harris. The matters were scheduled at 8:40 a.m. It's now 11:42 by the court's clock. The defendant having failed to appear, habeas shall issue in both matters. This is 191789, City of Romulus versus Shawnee Swanson.
Shanae, please, Your Honor.
Shanae, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Swanson, today is a day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. It is alleged that on May the 2nd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail, plus a fine of up to $500 and court costs. There is an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead responsible, if you plead responsible to the added count of double parking and pay a fine of $400, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Do you wish to accept that offer, proceed with pretrial and arraignment, or discuss your rights and options with the court-appointed attorney?
I'll accept the thing, Your Honor, but I had a question about the added no proof of insurance on there as well. I showed the officer my insurance. It wasn't my car. And then it was supposed to, I wasn't supposed to still have that charge as well. But it was still listed on there. I was wondering if I can get that dropped. I even submitted like proof again when I asked for the hearing.
Ms. Swanson, the only issue is that these citations were issued back in May of 2019 and have been in default since July of 2019. When you receive the ticket, there's an indication on there that you have 14 days to appear before the court with any explanations, and you would have been able to bring that proof of insurance within 14 days of that date. We are now over 2 years past that time. So these matters are in default.
I understand. What happened was I don't live at my mom's address. So I gave him my new address, but it ended up still going to my mom's house. And I didn't speak with her during that time frame. So which is why I didn't know when the court date was, and which was why it was missed. But I still have the proof that it's just $400 was a lot for me to still have. I actually have the proof. It's just, so I was just hoping that I could just that one. I'm prepared to pay everything else and included with my other fines and fees that I had before. It's just the insurance was quite a bit of money to actually have the proof. So I was just hoping to still get that one dropped.
Ms. Swanson, are you saying that you weren't at the Colchester address back in 2019?
No, I was not. It was my mailing address, but I had a situation with my parents and I wasn't actually in communication with them. I had a different address at the time that I even provided the officer with.
But you acknowledged receiving the ticket on April 2nd, 2019, correct?
I actually called in order to get the information. I called the ports because I was trying to get a new license. So I had called the port to see where I owed money to, and that was how I found out about the court date and stuff.
Ms. Swanson, my question to you is back in 2019.
Yes.
When you were speeding 83, 84 in a 70, the officer pulled you over, correct?
Yes.
And handed you a citation, correct?
Yes.
And on that citation, it indicated that you are to present to the court within 14 days.
Yes.
Okay. So my issue to you is that you did not present to the court within 14 days. And I hear you say that you had these other family issues.
Yeah, like the reminder. I don't remember. I think I had more than one ticket during that time from 2 different places, and I think I just mixed them up. So I just probably just thought I paid that one, but it turns out I had still actually owed your court, and I thought I paid it already.
And respectfully, ma'am, I hear what you're saying, and the inclination of the court is not to disrupt defaults that have been in place for almost 2 years. If the prosecutor has a different position regarding the fine on the double parking, that is a horse of a different color, but not a 2019 default.
I understand, Your Honor.
So, ma'am, how did you wish to proceed this morning?
I'll accept the double parking and pay the fine.
And again, ma'am, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or question witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you a plea responsible this morning?
No.
Is it true that on May the 2nd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
The court will accept your plea in this matter. Mr. Kaplan, do you have any objection to the court reducing the fine in this matter to the $100 and the $45 FAC? I'll ask it another way. Mr. Kaplan, if you have any objection to the court reducing the fine in this matter to $100, what's your objection?
No, Your Honor, I do
Hearing no,
my absence.
hearing now Mr. Kaplan's acquiescence, the court will accept the plea of responsible to double parking, assess a fine of $100. and the FAC of 145. Ms. Watson, let's revisit this.
Okay.
Are you working now?
Am I working now?
Are you working?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work at H&M, a retailer, clothing store.
How long have you been there?
5 years.
Do you currently have insurance?
Yes.
Who is your insurance company?
My car insurance
Yeah,
or Progressive?
your car insurance.
Progressive.
How long have you been with them?
2 years now.
Since this ticket in 2019, have you had other contacts with law enforcement?
No, I have not, Your Honor. I haven't had a single ticket since these tickets.
Other than these outstanding matters, do you have any outstanding traffic matters?
No, I do not, Your Honor. I have not been pulled over in 2.5 years.
And you're saying you had insurance on that day?
Yes, ma'am. It was not my vehicle. It was a friend of mine's vehicle, and there is insurance, and I still have copies of that from that date and time.
Ms. Swanson, I'll take you at your word. I'll set aside the default in the insurance
Thank you, Your Honor.
and dismiss that case. You still have the $45 in that file. You still have the clearances that you'll have to pay. You still owe money on a speeding ticket and on the distracted driving and this double parking. But maybe that little bit on the no proof of insurance will be helpful in getting you back where you need to be in terms of being cleared up, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Your phone number, ma'am.
313-971-1170.
Your files will be sent to collections for you to make payment arrangements in the rest of them. You can either contact the court, call the court, go online, submit a written request for payment. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
You have a good day, ma'am.
You as well.
Thank you. Mr. Malone is back. Mr. Jadala, was that sufficient time to discuss these matters with him?
It was, Your Honor, and respectfully, Samar Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Malone. We're going to waive formal reading and stand mute for purposes of arraignment. Mr. Malone, could you turn on your video and unmute yourself? And Your Honor, it was pretty weird, the conversation you just had with the last defendant. Mr. Malone is also, he wants to avail himself to the plea, but he also doesn't want to set himself up to pay. He was wondering if the prosecutor would consider a reduction in the $400 double parking, if it could perhaps be something less, Your Honor. He would like to take care of these matters, but due to financial hardship, he'd like to, if there could be any reduction.
Your Honor, people have no objection. We leave that to the discretion of the court.
Yes,
Mr.
I was
Malone,
trying to state my
Mr.
license.
Malone, for the purposes of the plea, you had enough time to discuss this matter with Mr. Jadala,
Yes,
and you discussed the rights available to you this morning.
yes,
And
Can
you
you hear
discussed
me?
the offer from the prosecutor.
yes,
And it's your intention to offer a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking.
no, that's what I'll ask you. Was our license actually at the time had a with Dearborn when I showed
Mr. Malone, you have to say, Mr. Malone, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Malone. You have to say, yes, you want to take the plea, and then she's going to tell you how much it's going to be.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Is it, Mr. Malone, is it true that on April 27, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes. Yes.
The court will accept your plea of double parking in this matter, dismiss the driving while license suspended. Now, you wanted to be heard on the fine in this matter?
Oh, yes. I had, during that time, my license, I had my temporary
Mr.
license
Malone?
when I went to Dearborn. Mhm.
You're breaking up, so I
Yes.
can only hear like every third word that you're saying.
Okay. Sorry, let me try
That's
to
okay.
move a little closer to the book. All right, be quiet for a sec. Thank you. Yeah, my license was, my whole wallet was stolen. So when I got pulled over in Dearborn, I had to go and show my temporary license, and it was basically dismissed. And this was around the same time where my wallet was stolen. So I know I really had a valid license. So I really, right now, it's not a time to come out of $400. So I'm trying to have leniency, and basically I come forth. I'm not. I actually set up this court date to actually, take care of everything, and I have other tickets I'm trying to take care of. So trying to just basically, handle this and really get it dismissed if possible. But I have my proof. I think I have my temporary license still somewhere. But it was just the fact.
Are you working, Mr. Malone?
Actually, I've been off of work even before Corona. I was in a car accident. But I was doing Lyft before then, and doing
How do you support yourself?
daycare transportation. Well, I basically was, getting support from family, and I also just get unemployment right now. But that's it.
Court
Yeah.
will assess a fine of
But
$200
I
total. There's no FACs in this matter. Just $200, Mr. Malone. Are you able to pay that within 30 days?
I actually want to, if I could set up a payment plan.
You can do that. I'll refer the matter to collections. Your phone number, please.
313-420-3564.
Thank you. We are all set, Mr. Malone. $200 double parking, misdemeanor dismissed.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. It is 11:57. The last scheduled cases were at 11:30. I'm going to enter the K pieces now, and we will come off of YouTube, Marianne. If the two of you would